I got my hand in here. I got to.
Okay. Are we live right now? This is hot. This is hot. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Cornelius Flapjack here, along with
Fred Millerson.
Fred Millerson and Fred. This is going to be a crazy game today, is it not?
It's going to be a bananas. I can feel the excitement of the gym. It's incredible.
Now, we got two teams that are squaring off today. We have got the Dynamite Mr. Roach team squaring off against, I believe, it's the Wilkie team. What does your intel suggest?
It's going to be a close one. There's no strong advantage for either way. Both teams have size, speed, strength. It's going to be a dogfight.
What about agility?
Neither team has agility. I don't know.
Interesting. They made it all the way to the finals and no agility. All right. As we can see straight ahead, Mr. Mendelson, okay, a top-notch referee in this league, is going over the rules. Now, what are some of the rules in Crossfire?
Why don't you tell them about some of those rules, because you actually participated in this.
All right. Well, rule number 1, okay, you definitely cannot step on that line. Okay.
Keep the feet off the line.
Keep the feet off the line. There was a classic game that happened a few days ago. Perhaps you saw it. It was Giroux's class squaring off against Roach's class. There was some line stepping.
There was a little line stepping, line stepping, and that was the problem.
Big problem. All right. So looks like they're all squared to go. Who do you favor today? Do you favor anybody? Do you see any strengths?
I'm gonna go with Roach's squad. I think they just have a little experience and a little bit of that something that's gonna put them over the top. But I think it's gonna be a close one.
You know, I had lunch the other day with Mr. Roach, and we were talking about strategy in this game, and Roach has got a lot of it. But Wilkie too. What a surprise!
What a surprise! Wilkie's only been at this school for a month or so, and yet seems to have mastered all the ins and outs.
Oh, we got to interrupt this program. We're brought to you by our sponsor. Oh, this is this cross.
Do you have any sponsors? I don't think so.
Well, we're looking for sponsors right now. Oh, and they're off. All right. All right. So it looks like Roach's team is looks like it's got the ball.
Oh, the first throw of the game. Did not find a target.
But check out the velocity on that ball.
Oh, some serious velocity. We got one out. Is that our first player out? Maybe he wants to be out so he can do some damage from the sidelines.
We do have our first player out, and it looked like that was by design. What do you think?
I think that was by design. Our sponsor, Raid, kills roaches.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay. All right, so it's kind of difficult from this particular perspective, but it looks like we've got one of Roach's guys on the outside. Do we have a Wilkie on the outside?
I honestly have no idea if there's a Wilkie on the outside at this point. I see a lot of high throws. Oh, look at that dive. Oh, he crossed the line. A diving effort, but he crossed that line. That's what you talked about before the game, line crossing.
We talked about it before the game, and it's an essential. It's part of the fundamentals, but it's something that's easily forgotten when you're caught up in the emotion.
It is. Oh, and there's one knocked out from behind. Another one on the sidelines.
Well, looks like Mr. Millicent is going to have a word, okay?
It's important that our audience maintains the right decorum in an event like this.
Absolutely. Decorum is everything.
There's a lob over to the other side, and lob back to the guy outside. And he nails him. With respect. What does it take to be a ref in a league like this?
What does it take to be a ref in Crossfire? Well, first of all, you got to have experience.
I can take this. You got to have one of those black and white striped shirts. That's it. Vertical.
Okay. Oh, yeah, and it's got to be vertical lines, not horizontal lines. Horizontal lines, you're not quite there yet.
He's eyeing his targets here. He throws one in. It missed his target. Nothing.
You know, I have Jack Corthels, who just threw that ball in my fifth period English class, and you know what he told me the other day?
What did he tell you?
He said his favorite thing to do aside from Crossfire is to do daily oral language in English class. Get that?
That does not surprise me at all. A lot of these Crossfire contestants also love some daily oral language.
The crowd is really trying to amp it up right here.
They're responding to something that happened in the game.
We're not exactly sure what happened, but something did happen, and as soon as we find out, we'll let you know.
There's a lot of team spirit here from the crowds. We seem to be having an edge now, has emerged, right? Like those guys over there.
You mean to our left or to, okay, yeah. But to everybody else's, well, okay. I guess it would be their left too.
If they're standing behind us, then it would also be their left.
But if they're standing on the other side of the courtroom, then it would be their right. Okay. Wow, that looked like a significant hit. I don't know who that player was, but it looked significant.
Significant. Oh. I should be saying something because you're holding the microphone in front of my face.
Well, you indicated to me that you were on the verge of saying something very, very significant.
Never mind.
All right. So what's the score anyway right now?
Well, it looks like it's pretty evenly matched, although there's a slight advantage to these guys over here. Which guys are these? Again?
I don't know. Do you tell by the outside who's on the outside or who's on the inside?
That's a good question.
All I know is that the people to our right have less numbers on the floor than the people to our left.
More numbers on the left, less on the right.
And that's our left. Oh.
We have an audience member that got nailed by that.
Oh, yep. Oh, wow. Something just important happened.
Something very important happened. Yes.
All right. Team members are trying to calm each other down. Oh, it looks like, something else just happened.
More things are happening, Cornelius. Things keep on happening in front of us.
For our viewers at home, perhaps you're seeing certain things that are happening that we guess.
Do you feel like we should know which team is which? I feel like we should know that. There should be something.
Feels like there should be like like something hovering above.
Maybe we should we cut to our sideline reporter, Brian Fallman?
Yeah. We got Brian Fallman down to the courtside. Brian, you've seen a lot of Crossfire games in your lifetime. What do you think so far?
It looks to me like there's a lot of ducking and dodging and ducking. And Ethan Naw is the lone survivor for one team. And the other guys are doing pretty good, but it's getting to be exciting. Down to the wire. Back to you guys in the booth.
We have no idea what you just said, but it probably was very important. Yeah.
So, of all the Crossfire games I've seen, this is definitely one of them. There's a strong hit there. I don't think that had any impact on the game because he's already out of bounds.
You know what? I want to go back to that last comment you said because this is one of those games.
It is one of those games. You know, you see a lot of these games, and this is one of them.
Let's talk about uniforms. What are the required uniforms in this Crossfire game? Well, wristbands, of course, sweatbands. Something else really important just happened.
Yes, I think important things keep happening on the court.
I don't know. Perhaps if these students just sat down or just laid on the floor, then oh goodness! Oh, looks like somebody just won the first game.
At the end of the first quarter of action.
You know, I just think that it's going to be too easy to win game two. Game one was over too quick.
Who are you? Who was this man? We're going to go down to the team right now to get their insights.
Okay, hold on a second. So we're here live with the team. What's your strategy going to be for the second half of this game?
Oh, I think we need to pass more and just keep them confused and yeah. Not trying to step over.
Okay, let me go back to the other team now. So, do we have a winning strategy for the second quarter of the game.
Yes.
Don't get out and hit them with the ball.
So you're saying we should actually hit them with the ball and don't get out.
Yes, pretty much, and you got to cook.
Great. That's straight from the field. Now back to you in the studio.
You know, Glasgow, I'll deal with you later. And we're back here. Game 1 was intense, was it not?
It was very intense. Apparently, Roach's team pulled out a close victory, but we need to point out the great play of one Ethan Naw.
Ethan Naw. Remember that name, folks. It'll go down to Crossfire history.
And here we go again. Game 2 is underway with Wilkie's team trying to make a comeback. You're holding that at my nose. There we go. Thank you. And game 2 is underway. And Mr. Mendelson is taking the ball.
Mr. Mendelson was pointing at somebody. I don't know who he was pointing to, but he was definitely pointing at somebody.
It was definitely a person who was pointing at. A nice catch by a large player.
And remember the name Ethan Naw. It'll go down to Crossfire history. Oh, maybe he might not go down in Crossfire history, but he's definitely a standout player from the last game.
For the rest of this day, his name will be important to know.
Very important. Now, I'm sorry, I forgot your name again.
Fred Millerson.
Fred Millerson. You used to play Crossfire.
I did play a little Crossfire in my time. I was two-time national champion. Yep.
You mean by yourself? Oh, okay, got it. It was one-on-one. One-on-one. All right.
Did they switch sides? Is this Roach?
Okay, now we got Roach on our right-hand side, and for our viewers at home, that would also be on your right-hand side.
Yes.
Oh, we're going to go down to the court.
Now, Roach's team, I've been noticing down here on the field, Roach's team is doing a lot of finger pointing and a lot of communication going on. Whether they actually carry through on that, we have yet to be seen. But there's a lot more communication going on with the Roach's team. Back to you guys.
That was an incredible observation for a man on the floor. Pointing, communicating, indicating. What do you think, Fred?
So important in a game like this to communicate. It's really indispensable.
What's the opposite?
Important.
Well, what's the opposite of indispensable?
Dispensable, but it's not that.
Is there such thing as dispensable?
I don't know. You got me there, Cornelius.
This brings up
talk of next year's draft, doesn't it?
It does.
Oh. One group of fans believes that they will win.
Yeah, exactly. And apparently the other group of fans does not, but perhaps we haven't heard from them yet. There's still time left in this game. Let's look at the clock here.
His team with the ball, a very tall, fires the ball, and
it is 12:33 Pacific Standard Time. We still got a lot of time on the clock, a lot of time for Wilkie to come back.
There's a lot of Crossfire left to play today, folks. And Wilkie's team's doing a lot of lobbing from side to side, and no one can actually pick up the ball. Now they've got it, and they're going to find the right target and try to nail somebody. Here it goes, and he got him. Shoulder high, and he got rid of one player there. I think he got rid of Flenderson.
Was that Flenderson?
Yeah.
Toby Flenderson?
It was Toby Flenderson.
Let me tell you a story about Toby Flenderson. Toby Flenderson, perhaps as one of the strongest arms I've seen in this game.
Oh, we got an elimination from a crossing the line there.
Another cross?
That was Stanley.
Another cross on the line. Interesting.
Oh, a nice quick flipper to the corner. Oh! They are taking people out right and left and up and down and right and left.
Well, I tell you what, how about I pass off the microphone to you, because your play-by-play is not being heard unless the microphone is right next to your mouth. And here it goes.
Okay, and there's another throw, and Roach's team. This guy, Flenderman, has gotten out several of Wilkie's players, and he's going again. He's throwing to the outside, to the side, back across the side again. They're looking for somebody. He's having trouble. And there's a whistle on the play. Mendelson is in there.
Mendelson just gave a thumbs up. Was that a thumbs up or a thumbs down?
Mentelman made a thumbs up and he ejected a player, not ejected, but eliminated a player to the outside.
Well, I got to tell you, this is a very, very tight game. From our perspective right here, it looks like it's a tie. And Mr. Mendelson just waved to us. Hi, Mr. Mendelson.
Mendelson did wave to us. That's fun.
Okay. All right. Well, he's back to the game right now. Focus and concentration, a big part of refereeing, correct?
One of the biggest. I think Mendelson is standing in the middle of the court now, not making any hand motions, with hands on hips. And he's made a hand motion now. There's a finger pointing.
He did 2 hand motions at once.
That's not easy to do. It looks to me like Roach's team has a substantial lead now, and there's only 3 remaining players on Wilkie's team. Could this be the beginning of the end for Wilkie?
You know what? I always root for the underdogs. And, there's a lot of finger pointing going on out there. Something just happened on the court. Very difficult to see. But
Wilkie player, that was Phyllis Stanley, just eliminated one of Roach's players.
maybe we are witnessing the comeback of the century right here. Speaking of comebacks of the century, let's talk about your comeback back in '75, Peoria, Illinois, one-on-one. Describe it.
But before we get there, another player has just been eliminated from Roach. I believe that's Andy Bernard. Andy Bernard has just been eliminated. Oh, it was a line violation. No elimination, folks. No elimination, Curry. There was a line violation.
It was a line violation. Well, I'm sure you had a fascinating story talking about 1975 in Peoria, but for the life of me, I didn't hear it.
Maybe just moments away from a championship here. It's not time for 1975 stories.
You know what? We'll save that story for later on. Well,
there are but 3 remaining players on Wilkie, possibly 2 remaining players on Wilkie's team. Roach getting ready to try to take out one of those 2 players. And, an incredible leap to avoid it. But he can't avoid it a second time, leaving 1 player and 1 player away from a championship for Roach.
Things are looking tough for Wilkie right now. This is what character is made of right here.
And he avoids it again. He is managing to duck and dive all over the court and avoid elimination. And he's safe again. There's 1 player. Who is that player out there?
Is that Flenderson?
Flenderson is back in the game, and he's avoiding one after another at the barrage.
This is the most incredible dodging that I have ever seen in the history of Crossfire.
I have never seen such determination from Flenderman.
They say that one man cannot control the destiny, cannot control the world. This man, Flenderson, out on Wilkie's team.
He's got it. Flenderson got it. And he takes out another one from Roach.
Single-handedly, he is bringing it down.
He will not give up.
We got Flenderson for Wilkie. We've got so-and-so. That's probably Smith for Roach.
That is Smith for Roach. And the ball is in control of Wilkie's team at the moment, trying to pick off just one at a time, trying to get back into this game, 1 Crossfire player at a time.
Boy, I wish I could actually see what's going on.
That would make it so much more interesting. The crowd really into this game, as we know we're just 1 player away. And another.
It's tied up 1-1, ladies and gentlemen. And we go down to our on-the-court reporter, Brian Foreman.
The dude from Wilkie was all by himself for dodging and ducking and dodging and ducking, and eventually lasted out. Wilkie got possession of the ball again, and then all of a sudden now we have a tie game, 1-1. Wilkie came from behind and tied it up, 1 game apiece.
I don't know if they got time. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, hello everybody in the classroom. Cornelius Flapjack along with
Fred Bilzerson.
We do need to interview the ref after this game, but this is a classic game, a classic championship. It's 1-1. It was down to 1 man for Wilkie.
Craziness, absolutely crazy. I can't believe I'm here to witness this incredible sporting event. Cornelius.
Does this make you walk down memory lane? I mean, after all.
Crossfire.
But what about that hamstring? Is that healed yet?
The hammy is causing a problem. It can be a long-term situation. How's your hamstring, buddy?
Well, my left one's great, but my time. Again, Toby Flanderson with the ball, approaching the half court. There's some finger pointing out there.
We're calling his name a lot today, partly because he's an outstanding player, partly because we don't know any of the names of the players.
You know what? It's not
Now, oh wait, there's a whistle. There's a whistle. There's some motions being made. All right, Tiramisu's got the ball. He's looking for someone to hit. Here's over to Brook, back to Tiramisu, back to Jones, over to Smith. Oh, there's a direct hit. People are excited about that.
Looks like there was a miraculous catch. It was a three-way save, according to our on-the-court reporter, Bantle. Marcus Bentles. You don't see too many.
2 ways, sure.
Yeah, 2 ways is no big deal. 3 ways. 3-way save, absolutely.
Remember when they used to play this game with a reddish ball?
You know what? I'm impressed by this younger generation, but these kids have no idea the conditions that we had to deal with. Remember that hard red ball? Leave a welt on your leg when you got hit by that thing.
Ah, yes, it did. Yes, it did. Oh, did you see that leaping avoidance there?
Fun fact, we didn't call this game Crossfire when I was growing up. They actually called it dodgeball, or they actually called it nation ball.
We call it dodgeball. I believe you're making up nation ball.
I could be. My memory could be a little shoddy right now.
Maybe you took one too many dodgeballs to the head.
Well, that's the price that you pay. Well,
there's a lot of controversy lately about these repetitive head traumas being caused by nation balls. Dead silence there, isn't there?
I mean, it's because I took one too many to the head. All right. Man, there is that cross-court pass again. I am both...
Flenderson's got the ball again.
Flenderson? Yeah, the cross-court pass to Flenderson. You know what? As we report this game, we're also getting valuable intel and recon about both of these teams.
We are, because we may have to face one of them as part of the teacher team.
Well, we're not going to may. We will.
We will, yes. Let me ask you something, Cornelius. Do you ever feel like we're just talking to ourselves and no one else is listening?
You know what? Sometimes I get that feeling, but also I know that our viewers out there, wherever you are in room 308 or it's 116 or 275.
This is being broadcast to literally dozens of people.
It's also being broadcast in dozens of countries. The first controversy coming from our on-the-court reporter, Brian Fallon. Brian.
There was our first controversial call. It was a double out, but it appeared as though the ball had skipped off the ground before it hit the second player, but the referee called it right. To the credit of Nick Barcelos, he went out anyway. You listen to the referee. Nice job, Nick Barcelos.
You know what? I like that, Brian. I like seeing honesty on the courts. The referee can't see everything, and we don't have the capabilities to show a playback, so it's good when the players are honest. Well, Fred, I don't know about you, but I'm exhausted.
Not used to working at lunchtime.
Not used to it. Used to eating at lunchtime. Not working. But I tell you, it's worth it. It's worth it for the love of the game, the beautiful game that is Crossfire.
That's debatable. That's debatable, Cornelius.
What's debatable? What do you mean by it's debatable?
All kinds of things. Oh, and there's a missed fire from the guy.
A misfire, you say?
Misfired. All right, so he's got the ball on the baseline, on the sideline, trying to find someone to hit. And here he goes. He's winding up. He throws cross court. Bouncer, no luck, and he gets him while he's down. The one time where it's okay to hit someone while he's down.
Let's talk about numbers on the court. Who's left? How many do we have on each side?
Well, Smith, Flenderson, and Neville are still alive for Roach's team. Roach is down to the final two players.
We just heard it from our on-the-court reporter, Brian Fallman. The Roach is down to 2 players. Something just happened, though. Something just happened.
That was very exciting. Something happened.
And Ethan Noah is left on the court for Wilkie.
2? We got 2 players for... 1 for Wilkie, 2 for Roach. This is another great Crossfire championship. Once again, Ethan Naw left on the court.
By himself, all alone.
Holy cow! Electricity is in the air right now, ladies and gentlemen. For our viewers at home, we've got 1 player on the court for Wilkie. We got 2 for Roach. It does not get any better than this.
No, it does not get any better than this. They're running around for their lives out there. Oh, a fake and a...
Oh! What?
Are we down to 1-1?
Somebody just won!
Somebody won!
Somebody won! Somebody won!
Victory for one of the teams! This is amazing!
This is a huge deal. Somebody just won.
Let's go to our reporter and tell us who won.
Who won?
Roach.
Roach's team with an incredible victory.
Roach's
The
team.
confetti is falling.
What an amazing end. Crossfire game.
It's been a great tournament. I want to give all the props to Mr. Mendelson for running this thing from day one. All the teachers for helping out. All the ASP kids for helping out. It's been amazing.
We have got to interview the referee because that truly was a historic game.
It was. We're going to try to get the referee over here. He's not only... Oh, we've got an award ceremony possibly coming on here.
Oh, the award ceremony. And look how quickly this court is broken down and transformed into an ice skating rink.
We're about 85,000 people watching this game. Most of them have cleared out, braving the cold and snow. And here comes our award ceremony.
Absolutely. We're going to go down to our... Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Gerardo, I got to ask you something. Was this the most exciting Crossfire game you have ever seen before?
It was pretty darn exciting, yes.
We were riveted to our seats. We're going to go over here and interview. We're going to hand it off to our referee, Mr. Mendelson.
Good afternoon, sports fans, and what an amazing championship series as we crown the champions. Mr. Roach's homeroom. Amazing job, you guys. So who would you consider your team captain? Slow your roll. All right. So what was your strategy in the championship series?
Cook.
What?
You got to
Cook.
Cook. I noticed that you guys do that cooking thing. Who wants to elaborate and explain the cooking thing?
All right. Well, you see, when we cook, you put, he demonstrates it right here. You do a spoon and then a bowl, right? And then you bring it to your mouth. That is how you cook and eat.
As usual, a mesmerizing yet confusing explanation. Thank you very much, Mr. Roach. The trophy is yours. Thank you, guys. 2016 Crossfire champions. I think it's so hot.
All right. Well, Cornelius, another amazing Crossfire championship.
I tell you, that was good stuff. That was great. This is what makes sports absolutely the greatest thing, aside from reading, in the world, is this kind of like healthy competition. It brings out the best in people.
So until next year's Great Crossfire Tournament and until the rumored teacher-student Crossfire game takes place, this is Fred Millerson
And Cornelius Flapjack.
signing out from the Crossfire Championships.